better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real, relevant, and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. And welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we are bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. And today we're doing that with my special guest, Dr. Lotus Richey. How are you, Dr. Lotus Richey?
Hello, it's a great day in every way. Dr. Kim Jacobs. It's the Kim Jacobs Show.
Oh, I see. If I could sing, I'll give it back to you. It's like Lotus Richey ignites you. Listen, everybody, make sure you're in your people you like, people you don't like. It doesn't even matter. Just make sure you invite people into today's discussion.
That's right.
All right. And as we get started here today, I want you to know that Dr. Lotus Richey is a two-time Guinness World Record holder, award-winning speaker, a global strategist, best-selling author on multiple fronts, and media personality. She empowers millions worldwide throughout her transformative platforms, keynote speaking engagements. I'm telling you, you're going to be ignited when you hear her, and humanitarian initiatives across 5 continents, including work with the United States Navy and African organizations. Her mission is ignite and take flight in every area of your life. Welcome, Dr. Lotus Richey.
Always a pleasure to be in the same room with you, whether it's virtual or in person. Dr. Kim, I'm so happy that we're here today to talk about that one thing that we do every day.
That's right.
And that's breathe.
Yes.
Woosha.
Woosha, when life takes your breath.
Yes. And
Yeah.
we had some light, breathtaking moments before the show. We had tech concerns and all kind of stuff, but we didn't stop. We breathed through it.
That's right. We breathe through it. Yes. And I was like, I was backstage. I said, "Ooh, how ironic that today of all days, we would have something that would require us to be intentional
Yes.
about our breathing." Right.
Yes.
So it's interesting how God works. It's like, let's see if you're going to really be able to do what you say, practice what you preach when you're in the fire.
Hello.
It's one thing when we tell everybody else what to do, but when we're finding ourselves in the fire,
exactly,
then can we still maintain that level of professionalism, as people say, you know?
Yes. And the big thing about that, Kim, is that oftentimes we lose it if we don't talk to ourselves, if we don't take a moment to breathe. Angie always tells me, stop and take a breath. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's hard. Let's face it. If it's hard, sometimes, folks, for you to stop and take a breath during a trying moment, go ahead and put a 5 in the comment.
Yes.
We're not just speaking to the choir. This is a us conversation, a global conversation, and we want your participation because we know that sometimes it's not that we're imperfect, so to speak. It's not that we're not professional, but sometimes life just is difficult.
Life just be lifing.
Just be lifing, right? Mm-hmm. It just be lifing.
Well, what I wanted to make sure you put that 5 in the comments so everybody's participating throughout our conversation today. And I see you, Angela from Maryland. I see you, Sean from Columbus, Ohio. So, glad to have you all. Make sure you all actively participate and share your comments as well throughout today's discussion. If you have questions too, make sure you take a moment to ask them. So today we're discussing when life takes your breath. And my guest, Dr. Lotus Richey, as the global speaker that she is and a transformative strategist, she's spoken so many different places, but her whole message comes down to these 4 words: ignite and take flight. That's it in a nutshell. So here's the challenge. You can't fix a season, Dr. Lotus. This is really where I wanted to start. You can't fix a season that we won't name A lot of times people are in these different seasons, but most women are suffocating quietly while calling it busy.
True, true.
And it can't get to the other side, or we can't get to the other side if
You're
we're
right.
not willing to acknowledge the season that we may be in.
I like that you said that because one of the things in acknowledging the season, you got to stop and you got to take that breath.
Mhm.
And for our folks that love dictionary, the way dictionary talks about things, the dictionary says that breath is a verb and
Mhm.
it means to take into your lungs and let it out.
Yes,
But what
yes.
I like is that it talks about aspiration. It
Mhm.
talks about drawing in oxygen, which is good for us,
Mhm.
and giving out carbon dioxide
Mhm.
through our nose and mouth.
Yes.
If we're exposed to carbon dioxide for too long,
Mhm.
life threatening.
Mhm.
Not only is it life threatening, it can take our life away from us.
That's right.
And when we don't take a moment to stop and breathe and tell ourselves the truth
The truth.
about what's really happening,
Mhm.
then we can't face it.
That's
You
good.
cannot face what you cannot fix what you cannot face.
Somebody type that. You cannot fix what you cannot face.
You cannot fix what you cannot face.
Mm.
And so I love that you share that because that's where it all starts. We got to face it.
Mm.
And when we face it in truth, then we can start accepting it is what it is and life is life. And it's all right for life to be life
That's
because
good.
when life starts life and it doesn't stop us, it helps us to become better when
Right.
we face the truth of what it is. And a lot of times we don't want to face it because we're in fear.
Right. You don't know what's on the other side of it. So once you face it and call a thing, then
The
it's
finger
like,
thing.
oh, this is really where I am at this moment in my life. And
Yep.
so what does the other side of this equation look like if it doesn't get course corrected, you know?
Right. And what is that false evidence appearing real
Hmm.
that has got us shackled and stopped in our tracks? When we understand what that false evidence appearing real is,
Right.
then anytime it shows up in our backpack, in our toolkit, we already got the solution.
That's right. That's good. That's good. And I mean, you know how you're doing a ramp up because I can tell you got so much more in your tool bag over there to share with us. But literally for a long stretch of time, I wanted to kind of share something personal. For a long stretch of time, I've witnessed a lot of people that say they're blessed and busy and
Yes.
they're doing both jobs very well. Blessed was true, but busy was more like covering things up, if that makes sense.
Yes.
But we can all relate because this just really isn't thriving when we're trying
Right.
to hold it together. I'm talking about me personally.
Mhm.
When I've tried to hold it together and then I've gotten good enough where nobody's even asked anymore or even show any care or concern because it's like, oh, this is just Kim. This is how she does it or how this
Right.
person handles things. So the question I wanted to start with you is how do you tell the difference between being stretched and being smothered? Because it's a big difference.
Ooh. And being stretched and being smothered, both of those things will make you stop, whether you want to or not,
Right.
and inhale
Mm.
and exhale. Stretch, stretch, and smother.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when we're stretched, it feels kind of good. It's just like having a tight back. How many of y'all have a tight back every now and then, right?
Uh-huh.
And you get up off the sofa or out of bed and you start moving.
Mm-hmm.
You start moving. Angie taught me this move. You start moving,
Yeah, she taught me that too.
right? Right. And you start stretch. You stretch. A lot of us do this to whittle the middle, right?
Uh-huh.
And when I stretch, it releases the tension of
Mm-hmm.
my muscles. A lot of times, it it helps to elongate the muscles
Right.
and it brings me relief. So when I'm stretched over time,
That's good.
because that stretching is typically aimed for a particular goal,
Hmm.
whether it's to earn more money, whether it's to teach your children at home, whether it's to do whatever it is you're doing, you're stretching for a particular goal in many cases.
Okay.
And so what happens when you stretch and you release that tension that your muscles have been under, that your life has been under, that your heart has been under, that your
Hmm.
emotions has been under, when you stretch, you then give yourself the ah
Hmm.
that release. That's the
Yes.
breath, right?
Yes.
That's when you and then exhale. That's that
Hmm.
release. So the release, that stretch oftentimes impacts you in a positive way.
Yes.
Now let's talk about the smothering.
Hmm.
The smothering, how do we know when we're released, when we're having a release or when we're being stretched? Is because when we stretch, at some point in that stretch comes a release,
Right.
comes an exhale.
Hmm.
But in the smothering, oftentimes you feel the same thing when you're stretching. Your heartbeat goes up. Right? Your heartbeat goes up. You you might feel a little lightheaded, right? But that smothering sucks the air out of you.
Hmm.
It's almost like putting a pillow over your face, and no matter how you tongue, you just can't breathe.
Cannot.
Okay? It's just like
Wow.
being an asthmatic, folks. It's like being an asthmatic. And those that are asthmatics, you can identify with this.
That's right.
When you can't get that air in your lungs, no matter how you try, there's
Mm.
no relief. That pillow's over your face. It's
Right.
like uh, when Dr. Eric Thomas said, "How bad do you want it? You gotta want it more than you want air." It's like
Right.
having your head pushed underwater.
Mm.
No matter how you try, you still can't get that air.
Mm.
That's that smothering feeling. I wanted to paint a picture so you can see and you can relate, because some people have never felt smothered in their work, at home,
Interesting.
in their personal lives, in their religious life. They've never felt smothered. Now,
Hmm.
the smothering also comes when you're trying to help too many people,
That's
solve everybody's problem,
mm.
and you haven't solved your own.
That's so
So,
good, Dr. Lotus, when you say that, because that's what I was thinking about. What does suffocating look like from an outside perspective?
yeah,
And that is pretty much the answer that I was thinking would be the answer, you know?
yeah, yeah. So you're doing everything for everybody, but you're
Yes.
not doing everything for you, and your lights are shut off. Your car just got repoed. You you you, you can't pay your house note, but you're going to help everyone else.
Mm.
And now let's take it away from all the financial stuff. Let's say all your bills are paid. You're
Hmm.
doing great financially, but emotionally, there's some things you have not dealt with even from childhood.
Mm.
But yet you can go over and tell everybody it's going to be okay. You're doing fine because people expect that from you.
Yes.
You alluded to that earlier. People expect that from you because you a show host, you a pastor's wife, you a pastor, you a teacher, you're a
Wait,
you're a
wait, let's be clear. Was a past. I
no, not
am.
you, not you, not you,
Oh, okay.
not
I'm
you.
like, wait.
I'm
I'm
talking
like, wait,
in
wait.
general. No,
Rewind.
I'm talking in general. But
Okay.
okay, we can bring it back closer to home to Miss Kim. Okay, you were a pastor's wife, and now you know above anybody else the demands on a pastor's wife's life, with the
Yes.
congregation, with the family, with the pastor, going here, going there. That's smothering.
And
And
right.
sometimes we are so smothered till
Mm.
we blue in the face and we don't even know it. And the people
That's
around us, sometimes they don't know because we don't tell them.
that's right.
And sometimes people do know.
This is good. I'm not even going to go too far in our conversation without pulling the studio audience comments in. And let me let you all know, if you want to put your comments up to the top, make sure you
Yes,
send those stars or super chats in different platforms, and that'll put your comment right to the very top of the feed. But let's go to some of these comments. Lawana
yes,
Bradford said, women are accustomed to being and doing for everyone else while
right.
justifying sacrificing self.
Yep.
Speak
That's
to
true.
that, Dr. Lotus.
I I totally agree with what she said. We have been conditioned, and there's a book called The Sisters of the Yam by Bell Hooks, where she talks about how women, especially from the olden days, were groomed to
Mhm,
be everything to everyone.
mhm.
Let's look at today. Before you even wake up as a woman, especially if you have a family, before you even get out of bed, before you even open your eyes, you're wondering, what do I have to do for my daughter, for my son, for my
Right,
husband, for
right.
my sister, the folks that are living under my roof, for my spouse? Okay, did I make the lunch last night? Did I iron the clothes? Wait a minute, little Joey got to go to football practice today. Little Sarah, she's got to go and go to tap class today, or ballet class today, or soccer class, or softball class. Oh, wait a minute. I have to take care of the
Mm,
people at my job. Oh, don't let me
yes.
forget, I run my own business, so I have to take care of my staff. I got to
Mm,
do payroll. I have to, wait a minute, wait. I've got to do all this before I even wake
all of that.
up. And guess what? I haven't even left home yet.
You
I
didn't
haven't
already worked the 8 hour
dealt with traffic yet.
workday before
Exactly.
you even walked out the door.
Exactly. I haven't dealt with the traffic on the way to work. And then if you stay at home and you work, you haven't dealt with the traffic getting down to your office or up to your office in your own home,
That's
getting the
right.
family out. And then don't forget, you still got to make dinner after you've already made the lunches for everybody else.
Right,
About your
right.
lunch. And so we've been conditioned to take on so much for so many. And these things can smother us if we don't learn how not just to be flexible, but to be malleable to ourselves.
That's
Because
right.
we're being malleable to everyone else's situations, everyone else's emergencies, and everyone else's oops, I
That's
forgot.
oops, I forgot. Oops, I forgot. Right. And everyone else's emergency does not make that an emergency for
For
you.
you. But
And it's
we've been
not that you're
taught
not.
to make it an emergency for us.
Mhm.
Yeah, we've been taught that.
And we're also, we feel bad
Yeah.
whenever we're not taking on everyone else's emergency as if it's our own.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
sometimes we have to be able to compartmentalize and say, okay, this is an important situation, but this is also an important situation that I'm dealing with. Not to just brush everything that everyone else has going on off, because I don't agree with that too. You
I,
should show up for other people's emergencies and be there for them as much as you can. But if there are situations that you're also dealing with, like you said,
right,
your car, my car had a situation this, I could not be there for anybody else because physically I could not be there. I was
right,
not able to because my car was having a problem.
right. Well, I want to say this. There's something called boundaries.
Hmm.
And when we learn to enforce the boundaries, positive boundaries in our life,
Yes.
what happens is that we set the tone for how we engage with other people. I know personally, I have family members that anytime something go wrong, I'm there. Hey, just
You
they
are the master of being there always.
right. But I had to learn that I had to set some boundaries for myself because I can't be everything to everybody and sacrifice my health, sacrifice my finance, sacrifice my mental, okay, or my emotional. And a lot of times when we don't breathe and we don't realize the things that's really taking our breath away, then it's harder for us to come back into balance.
That's right.
It's harder for us to really see, as the older people say, the forest for the trees.
Hmm.
You can't see your house burning down right around you, and really, this is your house. This is where
This
you live
this
every
is
day.
our
This
house.
is
This
your house.
temple. Right.
And oftentimes, we're burning down inside and outside, and it shows up as inflammation. It
Mm-hmm.
shows up as high blood pressure. It shows up as cancers. It shows up as diabetes. Also, food contributes to these things too, what we eat. But oftentimes, from a cellular level,
Yes.
we're killing ourselves from the inside out because our cells themselves are not even breathing, because
Mm.
we're suffocating, we're smothering every little part of us, and
That's
we deserve better.
much better, much better. And everyone, we're talking with Dr. Lotus Rashay today to talk about what happens when life takes your breath. It can be in a great way, like, and it can be like, oh, how amazing. And it can also be in a like, dun dun dun, what
Right.
happened? What in your opinion is the first thing to go when a person is drowning? When a woman is drowning, I like to speak a lot to women because sometimes we're drowning and we're like, do you
Right.
realize that the life rafter is being thrown to you and you're not catching hold to it?
Yes.
What's the first thing in your opinion to go when a person's drowning?
One of the first things is a disconnect.
Disconnect.
She becomes disconnected with herself. The way she used to keep herself up, she's not doing that. She's disconnected with her family and
Mhm.
friends. She also can become disconnected with her job, with the thing that she used to love the most. She don't love it anymore. She doesn't give it the same attention, the same love, and the same care. Yet
Mm.
primarily, it typically shows up with herself, within herself. Neglect. She starts to neglect herself. And I know this is so true because it's happened to me. And I've told this story before on another show. My brother years ago, he came to live with me for a while, and I was not myself.
Mhm.
And the reason I knew I wasn't myself because he knocked on my bedroom door, and I said, "Yeah, come in." So he comes in my room, and he looks around, and he says, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I said, "What do you mean? Why are you asking me that?" He said, I'm looking at your room. Your room is never like this because I'm a neat, orderly person." And he was like, "Are you okay?" I wasn't. I was in a state of depression because there were some things that I was going through.
Wow.
And when I called home and I talked to my parents, and both of my parents was alive at this time, and my dad, um, he picked up the phone, and Dad and I was talking, and I said, Dad, this is what happened. And he said, you know, it's okay to be depressed, but it's not okay to know basically that you're depressed and not do anything about it.
That's the point.
And he having a psychology degree, he
Hmm.
could he could determine that within me, not trying to diagnose me, but
Right.
as my father, he knew hey, this is a concern right here. This is what you're dealing with. I'm gonna call it out. That's the truth telling.
Hmm.
I'm gonna call it out so that we can discuss it, so that I can help guide you
That's
to the
good.
breath, to the
So
release.
I love that because now you're going down a road of having us be in the picture frame and we may
Mm-hmm.
not be able to see ourselves, but
Mm-hmm.
knowing that we have to have some people that when things are good, when things are bad, in
Yes.
between, that they still have our best interest at heart at all times.
Yes.
So those are the people that we have to be able to listen to
Right.
and take their feedback. How do you
Yes.
suggest people, women, men, take constructive feedback from those that we know love us?
Let's not be in denial.
Let's,
Let's not be in denial. Let's call a thing a thing. Let's accept that it is what it is. And then
mhm.
when we get that, I don't say constructive feedback. I say productive feedback. When
Productive, okay?
someone gives us productive feedback, our response should be, and it's not always a good response, but our response should be, "Thank you for seeing that in me.
Thank you for even seeing me, the
Thank
fact that
you."
you care.
That's right. Thank you for taking a moment out of your day
Hmm.
to say, "I care." I see you. I feel you. I'm with you.
Mm.
I empathize with you.
Mm.
Yet sometimes, because we've been told that we have to be so strong, that we cannot show our emotions, especially men, because
Right.
we're talking to men here today as well. A lot
Yes.
of times, men have been told, no, suck it up, be quiet. Men don't cry. I believe, and I say this frequently, if God did not intend for any human beings not to cry, God would not have given men, women, boys, girls, even dogs have tear ducts.
Tear ducts. We can cry.
If
All
we
of us.
were not supposed to cry, it would not be possible.
That's right.
And
Mm.
in that moment, sometimes we just need to reach out to the hand that's being extended to us
Mm.
in love, in care, in concern, and say the words that I believe Oprah Winfrey talked about is one of the greatest prayers that you could ever pray. Thank you.
Mm.
Just say
Thank you.
thank you.
Just saying thank you. When was the last time, and just put it in the comment section, when was the last time you said
Thank
thank you to God, to a friend, to a family member, to just a coworker, a child of yours, anybody? When was the last time you said thank you?
you.
Well, I can say today because I want to say thank you, Dr. Lotus Rashay,
Yep.
for blessing us and gracing us with your presence today, because it is going to make a difference in a lot of people's lives. You know, let me go here too. I see somebody all the way from Ghana. They'd be like, I know you lying if you ain't gonna put my comment up, and
I
I'm
know
happy.
you are.
I know you lying. Okay, she's Maurice said I'm watching all the way from Ghana. So glad to have you, Maurice, in the studio audience today. Luana says that one of the things I often say to those who refuse to accept accountability for their decisions is your lack of planning does not constitute an emergency for me.
Right. Yep. And I'm happy she said that because I had to graduate to that. And
Mm.
what I mean when I say I had to graduate to that, I tell people now that I would never have told this before. And these are loved ones. These are people who are close to me.
Right. And you still love them. It's not
Right.
that
And
you
I still love them.
don't.
But I just don't, their emergence, their lack of preparedness does not create an emergency for me. I had to learn that because every time something happened to certain folks, I was always running in to put out the fire. But what I learned is that if you continue to give a person a water hose and a fire extinguisher every time there's a fire, they'll never learn to fight it on their own. They're always going to be waiting for you to hand it to them. Yet, if you just breathe and step back and just allow them to do what they're supposed to do, you don't have to keep putting out those fires. And it's
Mm.
really all about self. It's about what we allow ourselves to do or not to do that allows us to take that breath, to
That's
not be smothered. A lot of times we're smothered by people and their situations because we allow it, we
mm.
bring it. Instead of them trying to handle it and letting them handle it, we say, no, no, we got it. Especially those of us are fixers. How many of us out there are fixers? Right?
Okay, go ahead. This is a let me give you a chance to just put it in the comments. Say I am a fixer. Type the word fixer if you are a fixer. Go
Yep.
ahead and confess.
If, if,
Okay.
if you are a fixer, put it in there. If you a fixer, because I'm a fixer. I've been a
I'm a
fixer all
fixer.
my life. And I believe most of us who are fixers, we are always going to be fixers, yet the way we fix can change.
Yeah. Well, and how can that look? Tell me how that can
And
change.
how that looks is just taking a breath, not allowing people's situations to smother us so that we automatically jump into the fix it mode. Just self talk. Talk to ourselves and say, it's okay.
That's good.
You don't have to fix this. It's not your responsibility to fix it. You can support,
Right.
without fixing.
That's good.
Because oftentimes when we fix, people resent. Because oftentimes people, when you go and you try to fix them, sometimes they think that you feel like you're better than them, or that
That's
you're the solution to everybody's problem.
That's crazy because you do. I mean, you and I are similar in this regard. We are always trying to help somebody, right? And then when we go to help the person, and you know that it's genuinely to
Yeah.
help, it
Yes.
seems like almost like you get kicked in the teeth. It's like, are you kidding
Exactly.
me? I gave
Exactly.
my last trying to
Right.
help undergird whatever situation you
Right.
had, and now you're cursing or giving me the business. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
Yes. You know, I want to say this. I want to say this. My nephew taught me this. My nephew has a son, and my mom and I were out, and his son needed a T-shirt. So I bought the T-shirt and brought him a couple other things. So that's what aunts do, right?
Right.
And so my nephew, his father said to me when we got back to the house, we was having a discussion. He was like, "But like, did I ask you?" And now, don't get it twisted. My nephew, no, never be disrespectful to me.
Right.
They know, they get the business. But he said it in such a way, it wasn't disrespectful,
Right.
but it begged the question of, why are you trying to fix something that he, as a father, should already do? Because he didn't do it, right? So
Right.
what
That's why
can
you
we
were doing
say?
it. That's why you're
Because
intervening.
because because he didn't do it. But here's the thing: we don't have to fix everything for
Not at all.
everybody. And I could have just said, you know what? I'm not going to do that. That's your father's situation. But the woman in us, if
Hmm.
I hadn't done it, my mother would have done it, because we're always meeting the needs of everybody. We're
Right.
helping to raise families. So if we
Hmm.
see that a child needs a T-shirt or this or that, typically we're going to go into the nurturing, into the mothering role,
That's right.
and we're going to help. However, at the same time, it would behoove us just to ask a simple question:
Which is,
do you need my help? Or would you like my help? Is the better question.
that's
Would you
good.
like my help?
So giving the person an out, an opportunity to receive it or reject the help, whatever way
Yes.
they choose. And even another way that I've learned to word things is by talking to people and saying, what way can I be here for you the way you need me to be here for you? Because sometimes the way I think I need to be there for the person is not what they're looking for at all for me.
Exactly. And I like how you put that, because a lot of times we go to the question of, how can I help? First of all, did I ask for your help?
Right.
Right? That's that moment where we got to stop and take a breath, because we
Hmm.
about to get smothered with the, I didn't ask you for your help. I don't need you. We about to get smothered.
Yep.
But I like how you ask, how can I help in a way that you want me to help? Because here's the thing, you give them that control.
That's right.
When we just jump in and fix, people oftentimes feel like they're out of control, or we're trying to control their lives.
Hmm.
People don't want that. People don't want to be controlled, like people don't want to be sold. They don't want to be controlled.
Right.
And
Right.
so we have to remember, we talked earlier about being busy, right? So,
Hmm.
and I wanted to bring that and tie that into this. We often are so busy fixing people, we miss the opportunity to be productive.
Hmm.
And the way we be productive is ask the question that you just said: how can I help in the way that you want me to help? Because if I help you in the way you want me to help, then we can produce a good outcome. We can together become productive, because then you're getting what you need, rather than getting what I want to give.
Hmm.
Because
That's good.
sometimes we just want to give so much, but we don't really help. We're enabling them. We
I
become
love
a
that.
part of the problem rather than the solution.
Well, my mom said, I am a fixer of things and that's not my business. Lord, help me to please stop.
Yes.
And now, you know what? I walk a fine line here, Dr. Lotus, because I don't want to be the person that's not able to intervene and help when
Right.
needed. And I don't want to blow everyone's emergencies off as, oh, well, it's your issue, it's your emergency, and it should have been handled differently, because we all find ourselves in situations.
Correct. That's true.
So,
That's,
what's that fine balance?
it goes back to stopping to take a breath and asking ourselves first, is this going to help me breathe
Mm-hmm.
or is this going to smother me?
Mm-hmm.
And then turn that table. Is my actions
Mm-hmm.
in desiring to help this person, is it going to help them to breathe or am I going to smother them?
That's good. Okay.
We got to ask ourselves that questions and deal with the truth of the answer. Because sometimes
That's
we
good.
give ourselves reasons to smother other people with our fix it mentality.
I love that. That's why it
That's
backfires.
why it backfires.
I have one of my younger nephews, he and they were really little boys at the time when he said this, but my other nephew was climbing up a set of stairs, and I was like, oh, you have to go over and help him. This is what I said to my older nephew.
Yeah.
Go help him because he's gonna fall. And they were like maybe 7 and 4 or something. It was like they were younger. And he was like, oh, Aunt Kim, he's a boy, he'll figure it out. I was like, what? I never even thought about that, but that's been a lesson that I've carried with me now for many years. And it was my
Yeah.
nephews, Jatai and Josiah.
Yeah.
And Jatai was saying, Josiah, he's a boy. He'll figure it out, Aunt Kim. And guess what? As a result of that mentality, he's now into boxing and all kinds of things. And he's doing a phenomenal job. Very independent young man, you know?
Yeah. And I think we have to do the same thing with women because women are just as strong, as resilient, and we have to allow our girl children to figure it out,
Yes.
to lean, just both men and women, to lean when they need to lean and support them in a way where we're not causing them to live at home forever if it
Yeah.
doesn't fit the family dynamic. We need to allow them to lean in a way so that they're not calling grandma or grandpa every time they can't pay their bills.
That's
We
funny.
need to allow them to lean, yet at the same time, we have to teach them
Hmm.
how to be financially secure. We
That's right.
have to teach them how to be emotionally and mentally and spiritually and physically sound. And we
Yes.
teach them by leading by example, by doing the work ourselves to step back, take
Hmm.
that breath, inhale all that good asprana,
Mm.
all that good air, all that, let that air come in and go all down in those lungs and clean out some things. And
Yes,
then
yes,
exhale
yes.
that carbon dioxide that don't serve us, that hurt us if it stay too long,
That's good.
so that our cells can breathe.
That's real good. That's another example I'll use too. Is my daughter, I was on the phone with her 3-way, and I felt like, oh, I have to be on the phone with her 3-way
Yeah.
to talk to this scholarship because something with her cost of attendance, and she's getting all of these great scholarships, which I'm excited about, thanks to Sean Hall. If y'all have not taken advantage of her services at allroadseducation.com, make sure you do that and tell her Kim Jacobs sent you. But so she's gotten a lot of great scholarships. And so yesterday we were talking, and I said, "Oh, let me 3-way her because one of these scholarships have to be deferred to next year."
Right.
And I thought I was going to be the one speaking. Time I got on the phone with the person, the representative, and Jayla took the conversation over. She
Yes.
was like, "I want to say first of all, thank you, sir, very much." But I was like, "Oh, this girl was well equipped to
Yes.
handle all of her business."
Yes. And you
And
know why? And you know why? Because of the example that you set. I know Mama Kim rolls in and does things for her children. And I've met all your children, all amazing children, each of them in their own right. And even our one in heaven, thank you for looking down upon us.
that's my crew.
That's right. So I can see Jayla doing that. I can see it because she's got her background in customer service, so she knows how to speak to people. She knows how to get to the core of what's needed. And I just want to ask you this: did you take a breath in that moment? And then, how proud were you in that moment?
Well, the answer is I did take a breath because I had no choice but to be silent since she was overtaking the entire conversation. Even though she wasn't overtaking it, it was her conversation to be
To
had. So who am
right,
I to say she was overtaking it? So,
right.
yes, I took a breath, I stayed silent, and the goal was accomplished. And it did not take mommy to accomplish it, it took Jayla to accomplish her own goal. And the outcome was extremely favorable, something that they don't even typically do,
Wow.
thanks to her being able to use her voice. So,
Yeah.
what you're telling us to do today is really helpful to breathe.
Just breathe. Just take a moment. And I practice this every day. And some days are better than others. Some days are really, really hard. Sometimes I have my loved ones tell me, just take a breath, step
Mm-hmm.
back. I really believe that many of us who have shows, who are in the psychology realm, who are
Mm-hmm.
in business, who deal with people, we all have to learn to take a breath. And it's good to ask somebody, what can I do for you? Or can I
That's the
help you?
answer to your
Can
question,
I
Kay
help
De
you?
Leon.
Yeah. Can I help you? Or
Getting permission. Getting
yeah,
permission.
getting
Okay.
permission. Here is something that's true. Enabling is smothering. That's right.
I see
Enabling.
all of your comments. I'm
I love
popping them up on the screen. And
it.
Stephanie Moore said that I've learned to set boundaries for others and for myself.
Myself, right.
Yes, kicked in the teeth by the very person that you are helping.
Yep. So I want to encourage all of you, share this out, because we know that there's some fixers out there, and we know that there's some enablers out there, and we know that there's some takers out there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where your breath is taken away
Mm.
from the takers. The takers come, and everything that is important to them must be important to you.
Mm.
So, how do we deal when we're in a situation with a taker? We still have to breathe. Because I just saw Stephanie said the boundary. I talked about boundaries earlier for others and boundaries for herself.
Mm-hmm.
So, when we have a taker, and I'm so happy you made that comment, Stephanie, that's what you got to do. You got to set a strong boundary when you know you're dealing with a taker. And how do you determine you're dealing with a taker? You
Come on.
tell the truth. You tell the truth about who they are, how they've impacted your life in the past or current. Has your relationship been with them been one where it's a give and take, or a take and take and take and take and take? Now, are you doing the taking or you doing the giving? Because you might be the taker, right? You might be the person that's sucking the air out of somebody's life. Come on.
Right.
If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. Let's call a thing a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we're the takers. We're sucking the air out of somebody's life.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're takers, sometimes we got to look ourselves square in the mirror and say, why am I being such a taker instead of a giver?
Mm.
Sometimes that could be because we have abandonment issues.
That's
Sometimes
good.
because we're not loving ourselves enough to believe that we can be a giver.
Right, right.
I bless the child who has their own, right?
That's right. That's right.
So we know if we want to be more blessed, we have to learn how to give so that
That's right.
God can return it back to us. What? Press together.
100 pressed down, shaken together, and will men and women
What?
give
But some
back
of
to
us don't think that we can have that abundance. So because we don't believe we don't have that abundance, we're always in suffocation mode.
Wow. Okay.
And we're always reaching out to grab instead of taking that breath, release.
Everybody take a deep breath right where you are today. I wanted to ask you too, Dr. Lotus, as far as silence is concerned, a lot of times people will leave out that key little part that they tell the whole story, but that one little part that's really keeping them in silent mode is what they choose not to share. I really wonder what silence costs people, because it's a hefty price. I don't know what the price would be, But what did silence cost you, in your opinion? And what does staying silent actually cost other women in the world?
Silence cost me. I wrote a book with a group of wonderful people, and it's over on my bookshelf over there. It says the opportunity, uh, basically, to persevere, it's in Spanish, in the moment of crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And in that book was the first time I talked about being sexually molested as a 6-year-old child. And I was told by this person, if you tell, I'm going to kill you. Their family belonged to organized crime. I believed them. I was 6. I didn't know no better.
Of course.
And I swore my sister to secrecy. But I held that for 15 years. And then finally I told my mom and she told my dad. And I was able to breathe from that. But before that, I was that caged bird. Dr. Maya Angelou says she knows why the caged bird sings.
Yes.
Well, I wasn't singing because I wasn't talking.
Right.
And so, to your point, silence can cost us our lives. Silence can cost us a relationship. Silence can cost us people misunderstanding us because our silence sometimes can come off in such a way as, oh, I'm better than you, or oh, there's nothing you can do for me.
They don't know.
Because they don't know what they don't know until we tell them that they don't know the struggles and the pain we've seen. There's an old gospel hymn that says that you don't know the struggle and the pain that and so that silence can keep us in pain. That silence can keep us disconnected. That silence can keep us doubting ourselves, criticizing ourselves, thinking that all the negative things about life should be ours. But when we speak our truth, after we face our truth that we talked about earlier, in truth, and begin to speak it, the whole world changes. I saw a little child the other day who was autistic. And the mother had been taking this child for therapy. And the child had not spoken. But this one day, the child said a word. And it wasn't mommy and it wasn't daddy, but it was a word. They spoke. Like the Bible says, we have to speak it into existence. And when we are silent, it takes the very breath, it takes our voice.
Yes.
But when we speak, we speak life into things.
My God.
And that helps us to ignite and take flight in every area of our life when we speak. So some of us out there, I know we're holding these things because we've been told what goes on in this house stays.
Right.
Okay. Children are to be seen and not heard, and all those things that don't serve us well. I encourage you, speak. If you want to be free, if you want to stop the smothering, if you want to breathe for real, breathe again, because that first time you took that strong breath was that spanking when the doctor spanked you on your bottom when you and you cried out. Enough for silence. Today is the day that you take your breath back.
Come on.
Again. You go ahead and fill those lungs with that good asprana and release that carbon dioxide that's been holding you down, pressing you back, keeping you from the very thing that you were meant to be. And that's
what Okay, y'all, listen. I mean, I know I'm personally learning so much here, and I want to take a break just to let you all know that on today's episode, we've been talking with Dr. Lotus Rashay about when life takes your breath. I want you to know how you can stay connected with her on all social media platforms. We're going to talk a little bit more because we started with the technical difficulties a little later, but I want to make sure you know to stay connected with her Dr. Lotus Rashay on all social media platforms. If you would like to be a supporter of the Kim Jacobs Show, which I'm hoping that the answer is yes,
Yes,
because
yes,
this is
yes.
the way that we can keep our subscriptions and all of the things going that bring us into your household every weekday. So if there's an interview, a guest, anybody that's ever brought some level of balance back to your household, that missing piece of the puzzle that was missing in your life, then make sure you take a moment to contribute to our show today. And you can do that for the audio listeners right through Zelle or Apple Cash at 704-962-7161. Or you can also do it through Venmo at The Kim Jacobs Show, paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc., you name it. And if you have not decided yet to take your own show training, to start your own show from scratch, you see what we do. Dr.
Yes,
Lotus Rashay, Kim Jacobs, Dr. Tina J. Ramsey has CTR
yes.
Media Network. Listen, I love to train you. We do a 6-week training. It's a virtual training in a small group setting. And all you have to do is give a call to 704-962-7161. You'll get a 10% discount saying that you saw it here on the Kim Jacobs Show. I have to play this before we transition into the next piece. Dr. Lotus Rashay is also the host of Lotus Rashay Ignites You show. And this is her grand intro if you have not seen her show. Here we go.
Welcome to the Lotus Rashay Ignite Show. It's time to get ignited. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah, but I'm back here like, hey, Lotus Rashay Ignites You show. Where can
Yes.
they check out your show, Dr. Lotus Rashay?
You can check us out every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, you can check us out on Wednesdays. Tomorrow, I have a great show called Books to Boom Your Business. And I'm going to be featuring none other than the wellness architect, Mr. Kevin Thornton. And we're going to be talking about the man you are avoiding. Okay. And we're going to be talking about breathing over there too. So, all men, you need to come, and all women, you need to come. Children, you need to come and see what men are avoiding. The men are avoiding. Thank you, dear.
Woo-hoo! Okay, kind of like a flash round, right quick. What's the first move a woman who has nothing left in her tank can take? What's the first step?
Can you say that one more time?
You're like, hello. What's the first step a woman that may be just running on E? She doesn't even feel like she has any more breath left in her to breathe out. What was the first step she could take to refuel herself?
I love you. Just stop in the moment, because sometimes we feel like we're all alone, but you got yourself. And when you came to this world, you had yourself.
That's good.
Take a moment to tell you that you love you. Because when you say that you love you, you're saying that you love the God in you. God is not far from you. And when you tell yourself you love you, don't you know love is one of the greatest energies in the world?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you know that love is one of the things that help people heal themselves from the inside out?
That's right.
I love you.
I love you. Somebody type that. I love you.
I love you. Just take a moment to tell yourself, I love you. And now I know some of you got, ladies and gentlemen, may be saying, but what if things are so bad that I messed up so much and I don't even feel like I love myself? Think of the one person you do love and tell them in your mind and say it out of your mouth, I love you, and call their name. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. I love you, Angie. I love you, Kim. And let
I
that
love you, Lotus. I love
love
you,
you back.
audience. I love you, Stephanie. I love all of you. I love you, mommy. I love, 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 love. I love love. How about that? I love
Yep.
love.
Now y'all see what just happened to Kim? You see how she smiled? You see how that energy came up?
Mhm.
That's what love can do. So if
That's
you
what,
feel like you at your bottom, just say that word, I love you.
mhm.
And things will start to turn around.
That's good. That's good. And what should women stop doing and men stop doing immediately today if they are really not properly able to appreciate who God created them to be? I love you
Stop
too, Steph.
saying stop saying yes when you should say no.
Woohoo! Stop saying yes. Somebody type that. Stop saying yes.
When you should say
Let
no.
me put my glasses back on because I'm over here. I don't
Stop
know what I'm
saying yes
typing.
when you should say no.
When you should say no. Okay. But how do you know when to say no? Because not everybody even knows when to say yes or no.
If you cannot breathe, if it is smothering you,
Hmm.
that's a no.
That's a no. It's a hard no.
That's a hard no.
It's hard no. Yes.
Yeah.
And Kay DeLeon says, stop saying yes when you should say no. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. And if it is going to detract from you rather than add to you,
Hmm. Hmm.
okay? If if it's going to cause you to make someone else's poor planning
Right.
be an emergency, more than likely that's a no.
That's right. That's right. That's good.
Because if you keep doing that, you're going to keep enabling them. One of our viewers talked to enabling Dr. Lawana Bradford,
Hmm.
and here's the caveat: it's okay to say no.
That's right. It's
It's okay
okay
to
to
say
say
no.
no. It's okay to say no. It's not a bad thing. It's not a curse word. It is
Yep, yep,
officially appropriate when you have to implement that word.
yeah.
Angela says, this is a fantastic show. Kim Jacobs is an awesome host. Dr. Lotus is an amazing person. These are two powerhouses, and this is already a great show. Sean said, Lady Lotus is wise.
Thank you, thank you.
You can't fix what you can't face. Yes, you cannot
Yep,
fix what you can't face. Sean said, be the hero of your opportunities.
yes,
Sean said that. And Lawana Bradford said, good morning, ladies. Coffee Conversations with
yes,
Sandy. And she has a show as well. Make sure you all check out her show. Good
yes.
morning. Good morning to you. One of my contemporaries over there with CTR Media Network.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. Let's see. No is an acceptable answer and does not need an explanation. My
Yes,
mom said no. What did she say? My mom said, stop saying yes. Stop saying yes when you should say no. And Sharon D. Brown, self-carepreneur expert. She has daily tips and a free and fortitude circle that you can join to go on a self-care journey. She takes you from wellness
yes.
to physical, mental, emotional, financial wellness all around. Saying no extends your capacity.
And let me add this to Miss Sharon Brown because she's a health person as well. Not only does it extends your capacity, yet it also extends your longevity
That's right.
because it adds more life to you rather than depleting you.
That's
So
right.
just remember that. And sometimes you also have to say no to yourself. And it's okay to tell yourself no.
That's right.
Say no when you know you're doing something that don't serve you.
That's right. That's right. Saying no when you don't have anything that's serving you. Leisha, she has a show called Wise As. Wise as one az, not the curse word. Y'all got to understand it. It's a whole
I
biblical,
got
it's a whole Christian
it.
spin
Yeah.
on things. And so she actually went through my show training too on how to start your show from scratch. So y'all make sure you
Yes.
follow her and check her out. Tell people how they can get your book, Harnessing Your
So
Thoughts. Tell them.
harnessing your thoughts. You can grab that book right on Amazon. And we have a new book about to come out that is kind of like a sequel under the harnessing your thoughts paradigm. So
Mm,
harnessing your thoughts, take the reins, control your life. And when this book is all about helping you to think better, behave better, and feel better.
That's
because
good.
Dr. Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you
You
do
do
better.
that. And I agree. Do the best you can is what she talks about. Do the best you can, but once you know better, you got to do better. We
Yes,
have to do better. I
yes,
also wrote a book, contributed to a
yes,
book with Dr. Sandra Jackson. I'm one of the 23 authors in the book Maternal Pillars, and I wrote a chapter in there designated for my mom. You all have to get a copy of this book. You can get it right on
yes.
kimjacobsshow.com. So go to kimjacobsshow.com and I'll be placing the order. I just placed an order. So if you go ahead and go there, you'll be able to get with the next bundle that's coming out. kimjacobsshow.com. Get your copy, and it's going to be a tearjerker. So you definitely want to
Oh,
have
awesome. I
tissue.
can't wait. I can't wait to get my copy. I can't wait to have you on Books to Boom Your Business to dive deep into that book. Because if it's dedicated to your mom, I know I'm gonna be like,
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty amazing. All of the authors did a great job. So is there anything else that we didn't discuss, like, how does a woman with a message actually build her platform, maybe,
yeah,
so that she, even because we're a lot of people that are watching this are also business women, entrepreneurs. We
yes.
probably have about 2 or 3 more minutes left and then we're going to end. But how do women and entrepreneurs build their platform and still be able to properly breathe?
One of the ways to do it is to form a community of women that if you primarily work with women, form a community of women. If you work with men and women, form
Okay.
a mixed community of people who, if you're trying to do it, form a community with people who have already done it and who are doing it
Okay.
successfully,
Mm,
and ask for a mentor. I've heard the good book say we have not because we ask not.
that's good.
So ask for a mentor. Now, some people say I might not be able to afford it. Been there, done that.
Right.
Ask anyway.
Okay.
Let them tell you this is my price. If you can't afford it, find a way. Because we find a way when we want to go out to the nightclub. We find a way when we want to get the Jordans, when we
That's
want to
good.
get those beautiful purses, jewelry, all that. We find a way. We
Hmm.
make a way. I was with Joel Bauer. I attended one of his classes, and Joel Bauer, he's taught so many people. Um, Mr. Robbins, um, Mel Robbins' husband, he's taught him. He's taught so many people. I can't even think about it right now. But
Right.
anyway, I attended one of his classes, and then I asked him a question, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to spend some time with you
Mm.
after this, maybe 30 minutes." Joel Bauer, and this is a shout out to Joel Bauer, and thank you, Joel, because Joel Bauer spent 4 hours with me.
Mm.
Often charges $20,000
Right.
an hour,
Mm.
and it was all because I asked. So
All because
that's
you
the thing. Ask for a mentor. Ask for help when you need help, and develop the relationship within a group of people that you are like mind with, and don't just ask for help, but be helpful.
be helpful too. I love that. So ask for help, but be helpful as
Helpful.
well, so that we're
Yeah.
not just only taking, as we talked about earlier.
Right.
Anything else, Dr. Lotus, that today as we were having this discussion on when life takes your
Right
breath?
away.
What?
Um, One thing that I want to share, two things. Being a fixer. Sometimes we're ashamed to say that we're fixers.
I am a fixer.
Sometimes we're ashamed to say we're people pleasers.
I'm a people pleaser.
We have to remember that these are things that we were taught. Some of these things that may not have been taught, these are things that we embraced over time.
Hmm.
Sometimes we are fixers because this is how we are supposed to show up in the world. We are the salt of the earth.
Yes.
And with that comes boundaries. Set your boundaries.
That's good.
Say no when you need to say no, and say yes when you need to say yes. Don't allow things and people and circumstances to smother you. Learn to stop in the moment and take a breath, because life is going to be lifing.
Hmm.
And as long as life is lifing, And as long as you have air in your body to breathe,
That's right.
you are in control of the breath that you take.
Mm. Ask for help and be helpful. You are in control of the breath that you take for
Yes,
that day. In my opinion,
yes,
life is full of choices. Every day we wake up and we choose
yes.
how we will embrace that day.
Make a choice.
Everything that happens to us that's external is beyond our control. But
Yes,
what we can control is how we respond to what happens to us.
exactly. And show up. I say show up. If you want to breathe, and you can breathe life into anything, but it has to be you breathing the life into the things that you want to live within you and
Mm.
outside of you and around you. You have to show up and say, I, I take responsibility and accountability for the air that I breathe.
Mm, mm, mm.
And then just breathe.
Responsibility and accountability. I'm typing everything you're saying over
Yes.
here so that y'all have some notes for later because Dr. Lotus Rashay says note takers are money
Money
makers.
makers. That's
So that's why I'm over here typing. Okay, accountability. Show up, breathe life into things you want to take responsibility and accountability
yes.
for. Okay. Okay, I'm putting that Dr. Lotus. These are quotes from Dr. Lotus, y'all.
Yeah.
All right. So anybody that had a takeaway today from everything that's been shared, put it in the comment section so someone else can benefit from today's conversation. Dr. Lotus, how do people connect with you to grow and go deeper in their journey in life? Not just to watch your show, but how do they get to you?
So one of the best ways to get to me is email me, lotus at lotusrashayignites.com. You can go to my website, Lotus Rashay Ignites. You can book a meeting with me, get on my calendar, and join one of the groups that we have for our group training, group coaching. We have the Ignite Your Life for Life Summit speakers. We're getting ready to go to, we're going to Oxford University, United Kingdom, 2027. We are doing the Ignite Your Life for Life World Literacy Tour. And so we invite you to come to that. So that's how you connect with me. Connect with me on any of my social medias. Watch my shows. Connect with me there. Come on the Kim Jacobs show. Connect with me through Kim Jacobs.
Yeah,
Go
we're
to
partners in a lot of different regards, so feel free to
exactly,
always connect with her through me as well, and you
exactly,
will be a better person as a result of connecting with her.
exactly. And we do a lot of things here in the community to help people with Down syndrome and autism. I saw Dr. Juliet was on here earlier. We do a lot to help our local uh, leaders, and we help with fundraising. We help with the homeless um, to make sure that our homeless people know that they're loved and they're cared about. And so, if you see me on the streets here in the Washington, D.C. area, the DMV, if you see me anywhere, don't hesitate to say hello. That's one way to connect. Just say hello. So
All
you can go
right.
to my website, contact us there, email, and just say hello. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see you also join in with what Kim is doing. Get your show going. You know, you can contact the Lotus Rashay Ignites team if you need a commercial, if you need a bumper for your show. I say breathe life into you, and we're here to support you in what you do.
And I do want to take a moment because Dr. Lotus Rashay is one of the board members for Gabe's Heart Foundation. So normally you'll never hardly see me put Gabe's Heart up
Yes.
on in the middle of the show. But I do want to take a moment right now to give you all the opportunity as we're preparing for our 11th year of our Gabe's Heart 5K walk. And we raise funds typically for the defibrillators to be put in, primarily, I should say, not typically, primarily for defibrillators to be put in public spaces. And we've been able to provide 3 recently. So I'm super excited about that, thanks to the contributions of community members. So if you wanted to say anything about Gabe's Heart briefly, and then we're going to disconnect.
Thank you so much. So I wanted to say that because Gabe knew no strangers, and because Gabe found a way to help people not who were just in distress, but just to help people just for the sake of helping people. He would go in and pay for their groceries and things of that nature, just people he didn't know. And the Gabe's Heart Foundation gives us all an opportunity to partner with the legacy of keeping a heart beating. And Gabe took a breath. He took a breath every time he went to help someone. So we welcome you to take that breath and don't be smothered out by life, but live life, live it full to the capacity. Because when you help Gabe's Heart Foundation, you help to give life to someone who may be in distress by allowing us to purchase defibrillators to put them into areas where they're desperately needed. And so any of the Ignite Your Life for Life Summit events, the When Women Exhale event that's coming your way soon, those events give portions of our earnings to the Gabe Heart Foundation. And so if you want to do something to help somebody in life, or even just to help yourself, because you never know, the life you save might be your own. Give generously to the Gabe's Heart Foundation. I'm Dr. Lotus Richey, and I endorse that message.
Thank you, Dr. Lotus Richey, and thank you for being one of our board members as well. And thank you all, everyone in the virtual studio audience, for taking the opportunity to tune into today's episode. Y'all make sure you stay connected with Dr. Lotus Richey. And again, I want to put up the way to do that. And we're getting ready to close out. I hope you all have had a fantastic time. Dr. Lotus, you just brought it all the way home for us today. So thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you again Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show. I love you, Dr. Lotus.
Mwah. Love you back. Thanks, everybody. We love y'all.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.